Hi, this is Ditte Young, and thank you for following me. I'm making these energy reports every month on different platforms, and I'll definitely try and be better at loading it on YouTube. So we just had the craziest year 2020 up until now. I've seen a pattern in every second month. We've had the focus on self-love, and the next month on the collective, and again on self-love, and then again on the collective. So in May 13, Venus, the planet Venus, went retrograde, and that's going on until June 25th. And Venus is the planet which symbols love. So when Venus is in retrograde, like looking as she's going backwards, we'll feel or get the feeling that we don't receive love anymore. So it's been a rough month because it's up to other people to love us instead of being able to love ourselves. So definitely in May, it was all about loving ourselves, getting rid of toxic relationships and codependencies. And we also entered a month in the sign of Twins, where it was all about freedom and feeling free and let go of old themes and karma lessons. And the themes is often to do with relationships with our partners or boyfriends or girlfriends or husbands and wives. And this is going on in June as well. I'm sorry to tell you this, guys. Never ever have the gap between the light workers and the people that wanders around in the darkness been greater than it is right now. And the people that wanders around in the darkness are not even aware that they are there. You are able to identify that they are there because more and more people are becoming stressed out, suffers from depressions or anxiety, are pumping up the volume for substances such as sugar, food, alcohol, nicotine, drugs. So this is how you are able to identify who is playing on what team, and the light workers are getting more and more sick and tired of that behavior because we are getting more and more high frequent. So right now we aren't able to go hand in hand with the light workers and the people that wanders in the dark. It's not the same as we are not together, because we are, but there's just a bigger gap between the two different groups. You'll experience that many of these people that wanders in the dark will try and project their anger and their emotions out on you. And the reason why they're trying to do that is not because they're being morons. It's because they have so many emotion and feelings which they don't know what to do with. So they're just trying to let it out so they don't have to carry it themselves. So it's up to you in the month of June, where we are going into another Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is in the sign of Cancer, to put a boundary on whatever you are allowing people to do or say to you, and the necessity of expressing yourself and your own needs, because you have not always been good at expressing yourselves and what you want. So the whole idea and the task in June is going to be expressing yourself, but be very, very aware where it comes from. When you express any given needs, is it from the heart or is it from the ego? And if it's from the ego, you'll not be met in your need. You'll feel declined or rejected immediately, which will be very hurtful. But it's because the universe wants you to become even more higher frequent, and we can't make the projections ourselves. So whenever we want the need of love, or we are missing out on romance, or feeling safe, we want other people to say something or do something so we feel better about ourselves, which is just the same pattern as the ones in the darkness who can't let go of or don't know what to do with all these emotions, so they're trying to let it out on you. So we're actually doing the same thing in two very different energetic methods or ways. So be very aware of that. During the Mercury retrograde, which is going on from June 17th till July 12th, Mercury is the planet of communication. Be very, very aware how you are communicating these needs, because communicating them is very important to have the self-love. Being able to work more collectively is also about focusing on how it's received. As for April, it was more important. April 2020, it was more important just to, spell it out. Now you have to think more thoroughly about how you are communicating that. And by hiring your frequencies, you will become more sensitive and emotional. And I know that you're probably sick and tired of listening to phrases like that, because oversensitive people don't want to be interpreted as misbehavior or bad behavior, or it's a negative thing that you are feeling, that we are feeling too much. So be aware whenever you are saying something and you have a need and you'll be rejected, look in instead of be overwhelmed by the rejection, okay? They're saying that the themes that you are balancing right now and the karma lesson which you are changing now is building the foundation for the rest of your life when it comes to relations and love. So this is not going to go down in silence. Maybe you are able to recognize right now that all the themes and the karma lessons you are dealing with right now is exactly the same themes you dealt with 8 years ago or 12 years ago, but it is just more serious now, or more over exaggerated, or more dramatic right now. So this is now we have the opportunity to crack the code once and for all, to make a safer environment and a better founded love relations in the future. You'll find that the people that usually are more introvert and silent will be forced from the universe to speak up. So some situation will happen, or people will provoke you guys to speak up, and you'll hate it, and it will feel like somebody's forcing you to do this, but it will make you more balanced. And to the other group, where you are usually out there and don't mind speaking up or saying your mind or speaking up your mind, you'll be forced to go slower the next few months. Even though this is probably very frustrating, because we just had this huge world corona crisis, and now we just want to run, especially before the summer holiday will hit the whole world again, and we'll not be allowed doing that. So I'm super sorry about that, but instead look at it as you are working by hiring your frequencies right now, becoming more aware of the collective, us as a unit. And this is the reason why you are so tired right now. I was being asked from some of my followers from the US if I could speak up my mind about my spiritual advices or my theories about what's going on in the US right now. I'm always very, very precautious and very humble when it comes to political statements. I don't watch the news because I get seriously depressed, but I have seen the Blackout Tuesday on Instagram and Facebook, and I think it's horrific and totally absurd that this is going on in the year 2020. Of course, I resent that. I resent that we have a worldwide crisis where all of us are isolated and we forget about the collective. And then 3 weeks later, all of us are acting like maniacs, trying to work our beeps off. And then here comes my theory a crisis must happen that is able to hit us in the faces so we wake up again, becoming a unit or a collective again. And I think it's because the US is the country that is making the greatest impact on the rest of the world. Because being a superpower, you don't see what's going on in Russia or in China making the same impact on the rest of the world as the situation with George Floyd, which I'm so sorry about. And people also ask me about physical symptoms. And if you remember, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, people fled from Syria. They actually walked from Syria to Europe, tried to enter Denmark, where I'm located, and we sent them on, which is also ridiculous, to Sweden, because we were afraid of losing our money to our own citizens to help these poor people. So I remember back then that many people suffered from leg problems or sore leg muscles or sore feet. And it's because we were walking with them as a collective soul, right? So as a collective soul, to mourn and grieve and feel what this has done to the African American people all around the world, especially George Floyd, you will suffer from headaches or neck problems or shoulder problems the next 2 weeks. And remember to drink water. Maybe there's a logical explanation for you having headaches, or I don't know, but if there isn't, then I am a true believer that we are such empaths, so we are feeling the same as he did. So I hope that you will keep on following me on the social media. I'm on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram too. Good luck in June. It's going to not go down in silence, but it's going to be better on the other side. Bye.